Hello students, welcome to this video. I'm Niranjan Rai, Assistant Professor Mechanical Department of Canara Engineering College. Today I'm going to explain in this video regarding numericals on heat exchanger, where we will try to solve various numericals or heat exchanger analysis depending on LMTD method as well as effectiveness and NTU method. Okay, let us take first numerical. The statement is like this: a heat exchanger is required to cool 55,000 kg per hour of alcohol from 66 degrees centigrade to 40 degrees centigrade using 40,000 kg per hour of water entering at 5 degrees centigrade. Calculate the following. Number 1, exit temperature of water. Number 2, surface area required for parallel and counter flow. Take overall heat transfer coefficient U is equal to 580 watt per meter square Kelvin, and specific heat of alcohol Cp is equal to 3760 joule per kg Kelvin. This question is asked in VTU question paper May 2006 as well as August 2002. Okay, so we will try to solve this. Now what they given as a heat exchanger which is required to cool 55,000 kg per hour of alcohol from 66 degrees centigrade to 40 degrees centigrade using 40,000 kg per hour of water which is entering at 5 degrees centigrade. So by this sentence we can make sure that the hot fluid is alcohol and cold fluid is water. Now we know that in heat exchanger it is nothing but the heat is transferred from hot fluid to cold fluid, or hot fluid to cold fluid. Okay, heat is transferred from hot fluid to cold fluid. Now here two fluids are given. One is alcohol, which is hot fluid, and water, which is cold fluid, and they given the mass flow rate of both the fluid, cold fluid as well as hot fluid. What is the mass flow rate? Mass flow rate of alcohol is 55,000 kg per hour. So you have to convert that into kg per second. And mass flow rate of cold fluid water is 40,000 kg per hour. So that also you have to convert that into kg per second. And at the meantime, they given the inlet temperature and exit temperature of hot fluids: 66 degree inlet temperature and 40 degree centigrade exit temperature of hot fluid. So it is cooling from 66 degree centigrade to 40 degree centigrade. That means obviously THI or TH1 is equal to 66 degree centigrade and TH naught or TH2 is equal to 40 degree centigrade, where H stands for hot fluid. Whereas the inlet temperature of cold fluid water is given 5 degrees centigrade, that is TCI or small letter t1 or TC1. Okay, where C stands for cold fluid. Okay, so here we can make sure that there are three temperature is given and mass flow rate of hot fluid and cold fluid is given. And apart from this, they given overall heat transfer coefficient. Take U is equal to 580 watt per meter square, overall U. And also Cp of alcohol is given 3760 joule per kg Kelvin, and that is hot fluid. Cold fluid is what? Water. So we can make sure that the Cp of water is 4180 joule per kg Kelvin. So mass flow rate of hot fluid is known, the specific heat of hot fluid is known. Mass flow rate of cold fluid is known, specific heat of cold fluid is known, and inlet temperature of hot fluid is known, outlet temperature of hot fluid is known, inlet temperature of cold fluid is known. So three temperature is known. So we can go for LMTD method, logarithmic mean temperature difference method. How? By knowing three temperatures and mass flow rate and specific heat, we can able to find the unknown temperature of any one of the fluid. Okay, and but they asked to calculate the exit temperature of water, that is unknown temperature of cold fluid, and surface area A for parallel flow and counter flow. We know what is parallel flow and counter flow, so we will try to solve this. Initially what you have to do, you have to analyze, you should analyze the problem like this, and you should note down the given data one by one. So like this you have to do. Hot fluid alcohol, cold fluid is water, then mass flow rate of hot fluid is known, 55,000 kg per hour. Convert that into kg per second, okay, divide by 3600, you will get the kg per second. Then mass flow rate of cold fluid water is 40,000 kg per, convert that into kg per second. Then THI, hot fluid inlet temperature 66 degrees centigrade, TH0 hot fluid outlet temperature 40 degrees centigrade, and then TCI 5 degrees centigrade water temperature, and TC0 outlet water temperature is unknown, so we have to find. And specific heat of alcohol is given 3760 joule per kg Kelvin, and specific of heat of water we can write 4180 joule per kg Kelvin, and overall heat transfer coefficient U is equal to 580 watt per meter square. They are asked to calculate what is Q and what is A and what is TC0, okay, for both the case parallel flow and counter flow. Okay, so now first what we have to do is we have to try to find exit temperature of water. Exit temperature of water. How? We know by energy balance. From the energy balance we know that the amount of heat given by the hot fluid, the amount of heat given by the hot fluid is equal to the amount of heat absorbed by the cold fluid. The amount of heat absorbed by the cold fluid. Now what do you mean by amount of heat given by the hot fluid? That is QH. And what is the amount of heat absorbed by the cold fluid? QC. Therefore QH is equal to QC. QH is equal to QC. So we know what is QH, we can find. If you know the mass flow rate and specific heat and the temperature difference, we know that mCp delta T. Similarly for the cold fluid also, mCp delta T. mCp delta T of hot fluid is equal to mCp delta T of cold fluid. Okay. Now what is hot fluid mCp delta T? mH CpH into THI minus TH0, which is equal to MC CpC into TC0 minus TCI, where THI is inlet temperature of hot fluid, TH0 is outlet temperature of hot fluid, and TC0 is outlet temperature of cold fluid, and TCI is inlet temperature of cold fluid. Okay, so equate that all the values mH, CpH, THI minus TH0 is equal to MC known, CpC is known, TC0 is unknown, TCI is known. Only thing is TC0 is unknown. So we can able to find by equating all the values and solving, we can able to find TC0 value. Now equate MH, CpH, THI, TH0, TC0, sorry, MC, CpC, TC0 is unknown, and TCI. MH is 15.27 kg per second, and CpH is 3760 joule per kg Kelvin, and THI is 66 minus 40, which is equal to MC, that is 11.11 kg per second, and CpC is 4180, and TC0 is unknown, and TCI is 5 degrees centigrade. So substitute all the values and simplify. You can able to get the value of Tc naught. Okay, Tc naught is equal to 37.15 degrees centigrade. And by knowing the value of Tc naught, the exit temperature of water is found. Okay, now we can able to calculate what is the amount of heat Q in any one of the equation you can take, either for hot fluid or cold fluid, mHCpH delta T. So the amount of heat transferred, or Q, is equal to mHCpH into Thi minus Th naught. So substituting all the values, you can able to get like 1.4934 into 10 to the power 6 watt, joule per second, or watt. Okay, so this is the amount of heat flow. Now we will try to calculate the area required for the heat exchanger in order to transfer this amount of heat. Q is equal to 1.4934 into 10 to the power 6 watt. What is the area required for parallel flow as well as for counter flow? Now we will first try to find for parallel flow, surface area required for parallel flow. Now you know temperature profile for the parallel flow, isn't it? This is the temperature profile for the parallel flow. So a hot fluid is at a temperature Thi, and it will loses its temperature to Th naught, while cold fluid is entering at the same end, which is at temperature Tci, and it is gaining the heat uh, to reach Tc naught. Okay, so this is the temperature profile, so you should able to draw, and then you know what is the equation to find delta TLM or LMTD for parallel flow. You can refer the data handbook. Okay, so this is the temperature, this is the LMTD equation, it is available in data handbook, so just to go through that. So therefore LMTD is equal to Th1 minus Tc1, or Thi minus Tci. It is one or I reference to inlet and two or not reference outlet. Okay, Thi minus Tci minus Th naught minus Tc naught, or Th2 minus Tc2, divided by natural logarithmic ln of Th1 minus Tc1 divided by Th2 minus Tc2. You know all the temperature values, substitute the values here, and the calculate, you will get delta TLF is equal to, so substituting all the values, you will get delta T or LMTD is equal to 18.98 degrees centigrade. 18.98 degrees centigrade. So by using this LMTD for parallel flow and Q, we also knowing that Q is equal to U into A into delta TLM. It is available in data, and that relation is also available in data handbook. Please go through that. U into A into delta TLM. Okay, substitute the values for write the equation for that. Q is equal to U into A into LMTD for parallel flow, and we know the value of Q, substitute, and we know the value of U, it is given 580 watt per meter square, and we calculated what is the LMTD 18.98, and area is unknown, and try to solve the value of area. Area is equal to 135.66 meter square. Okay, 135.66 meter square you will get. Next, after finding the surface area for parallel flow, we will find the surface area for current flow. That is also asked in that question, isn't it? So surface area required for current flow. Now similar procedure we have to follow what we have done for parallel flow, isn't it? That same procedure you have to follow, but the value of delta TLM, that LMTD, will differ because it is counter flow. So we know that the relation for LMTD when the flow is counter, okay, or counter flow heat exchanger. So this is the temperature profile for counter flow heat exchanger, where a hot fluid is flowing, giving its heat from THI to TH naught for the to the cold fluid, and TCI is entering at the different end, at the other end, and it will go in opposite direction, and on the process it will gain the heat from hot fluid, and it is increasing its temperature from TCI to TC naught. Okay, so that for the relation you can refer the data handbook page number 152. That is for parallel flow also, it is available in page number 152, and count flow for LMTD relation for count flow is also available in page number 152 in data handbook. So there it is given TH1 minus TC2, TH1 or THI minus TC naught, this, okay, minus TH2 minus TC1 or TH naught minus TCI divided by lane TH1 minus TC2 divided by TH2 minus TC1. So we know all the temperature values, and we will equate that 66 minus 37.5 minus 40 minus 5 divided by lane 66 minus 37.5 divided by 40 minus lane of 40 minus 5. So calculating that, we will get delta TLM for count flow is 18.98. Now you can observe the delta TLM value for counter flow and parallel flow. So the value what you are going to get for LMTD, sorry, here this equation is 31.83 degrees centigrade. It is not 18, it is for parallel flow. 31, if you calculate, you will get 31.83 degrees centigrade. So if you refer the values of delta TLM for counter flow and parallel flow, the value of delta TLM LMTD for counter flow is higher, because it is giving more efficient heat transfer taking place. So substituting that delta TLM in this equation, we can able to find UA is equal to Q is equal to UA into LMTD. So from there we can able to find the value of area. A is equal to 80.906. So area is reduced compared to parallel flow. Now for parallel flow, the area is 135, but counter flow it is 80.906. Same amount of heat transfer, the area is reduced when you approach counter flow heat exchanger. Okay. Okay. Now we will take up second type of problem. In previous, this is the second type. In previous problem, we solved. We got the simple data, where we got the mass flow rate of hot fluid and cold fluid, and three temperatures, and overall heat transfer coefficient, as well as they asked to find area as well as exit temperature. But this is one different type of problem, where you can able to find we can able to find the length, if you area and the length for parallel flow and counter flow. Now we will see the statement exactly what it says. A simple heat exchanger consisting of two concentric passages, which is used for heating 1110 kg per hour of oil. Its Cp is equal to 2.1 kilojoule per kg Kelvin from 27 degrees centigrade to 49 degrees centigrade. The oil flows through the inner pipe made of copper. Its outer diameter OD is equal to 2.85 centimeter, and inner diameter is equal to 2.54 centimeter ID, and thermal conductivity K is equal to 350 watt per meter Kelvin. That is the inner pipe, inner tube. and the surface heat transfer coefficient on the oil side is 635 watt per meter square Kelvin. First, the oil is heated by the hot water supplied at the rate of 390 kg per hour with an inlet temperature of 93 degrees centigrade. The water side heat transfer coefficient is 1270 watt per meter square Kelvin. First, the fouling factors on the oil and water sides are 0.0001 meter square Kelvin per watt and 0.0004 meter square Kelvin per watt respectively. They are asked to calculate the length required when it is parallel flow and counter flow heat exchanger. This question is asked. This question is also asked in video question paper 2006. So please note that here uh, the procedure is same. Procedure is same. We have to consider all the parameters what they given. Here they given the thermal conductivity of that pipe, the dimensions of inner tubes, that means inner tube resistance also you have to consider while calculating overall heat transfer coefficient. Here overall heat transfer coefficient is not given, and also fouling factors are given, so you have to consider fouling factors, the resistance offers due to fouling and the resistance offers due to the material of the pipe, okay, in order to calculate U. And the basic principle is the basic relation is same. Q is equal to U into A into LMTD. Why I am stressing here LMTD? Because they given three temperatures. One is cold fluid temperatures inlet and exit, and hot fluid temperature water 93 degrees centigrade. Okay, so here we will try to solve like this. First, what we will do is we will write down the given data very clearly and carefully, and then we will try to solve it. Okay, what they given is, first one, hot fluid is water and cold fluid is oil. Okay, there are two segments. One is hot fluid and cold fluid. Okay, hot fluid is water and cold fluid is oil. Now, hot fluid mass flow rate mH is given. How much? 390 kg per hour. 390 kg per hour, isn't it? How to know that that is hot fluid? Hot water supplied. Okay, so mH is given, and then CPH is known, and is 4187. If they are not given, it is known, you can able to write. And THI is 93 degrees centigrade inlet temperature, but outlet temperature is not given, so it is we have to find. And the cold fluid is oil, and its mass flow rate is given, and its inlet and exit temperature is also given, TCI as well as TC naught, and the specific heat of oil is given. If I am right, yes, exactly, it is given 2.1 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. And then they given inside the oil side surface heat transfer coefficient on oil side. Oil side means cold side, isn't it? The H, it is flowing inner tube or outer tube, that you have to consider. It is flowing at the oil flows through the inner tube, so HI is equal to 635. HI is equal to 635 inner tube, and water is flowing at the outer side, so H naught is equal to 1270 watt per meter square Kelvin. 1270 watt per meter square Kelvin. Okay, and similarly RFI and RF naught, water side, the fouling factors of oil is 0.001 inside, and RF naught 0.004. Okay, so they given, and also inner diameter of pipe and outer diameter of pipe is given, di and d naught, as well as thermal conductivity K is also given. Okay, these are the given data in order to solve the problem. But we have to calculate what is the length. L is equal to how much for parallel flow and counter flow. So it is the line diagram is like this. So you can able to see here oil is flowing at the inner tube and water is flowing at the outer shell. Okay, and d naught and di is given. So overall heat transfer coefficient is subjected to this inner tube, and the dimension pertaining to that inner tube is given, and the fouling factor at the inner side as well as the outer side is given. So we have to consider all the values or resistance for the calculation of overall heat transfer coefficient. Now, I hope all of you understood this analysis. Now, the thing is solution we have to make. So first, what is in our mind? We have to calculate the length. In order to calculate the length, we have to calculate area of the heat exchanger. How to calculate the area of the heat exchanger? Q is equal to U into A into LMTD, whether it is parallel flow or counter flow, whatever it is. U into A, Q is equal to U into A into LMTD, where Q is rate of heat transfer, U is overall heat transfer coefficient, A is area surface area, and LMTD is logarithmic mean temperature difference for the heat exchanger. Now, by calculating area, we can find the length. Area is equal to surface area, it is pi d naught L. Okay, so from there we can calculate L. So most important thing is we have to calculate overall heat transfer coefficient U. Okay, so to calculate overall heat transfer coefficient based on the outside of the inside tube, outside of the inner tube, we can refer data handbook for this relation. It is given in data handbook page number 157. So 1 by U naught is equal to 1 by H naught plus RF naught plus R naught by K into lane R naught by Ri plus R naught by Ri into RFI plus R naught by Ri into 1 by Hi. This is the equation. I hope all of you can able to note down. This is from data handbook. It is available in page number 157, 158. Okay, 157 or 158. You can refer this relation, and from this you can able to calculate U naught value. Now everything is known. H naught value is known. RF naught value is known. R naught means the outside diameter body that you know. K is thermal conductivity is known. R naught by Ri, outer diameter, outer radius or inner radius that you know. RFI is known. So 1 by Hi is also known. So substitute all the values and calculate the value of U naught. Everything. See, 1 by H naught 1270 plus RF naught is 0.004 plus R naught is how much? 2.85 or 86 centimeters. So we convert, this is the radius, so you can able to convert and you can able to substitute and try to calculate the value. U naught is equal to 324.88 watt per meter square Kelvin. That the answer you can able to get. Once you calculate U naught, next thing is we have to calculate what is the unknown temperature Th naught. How? By energy balance. We know that the amount of heat given by the hot fluid is equal to amount of heat absorbed by the cold fluid. Okay, so QH is equal to QC, which is equal to MHCpH into THI minus TH naught is equal to MCCpC into TC naught minus TCI. Substitute the corresponding values of mass fluid of hot fluid as well as cold fluid, and specific heat of hot fluid as well as cold fluid, and the temperature values of hot fluid and cold fluid. So substituting all the values, unknown values, TH naught, so try to calculate TH naught is equal to 61.58 degrees centigrade. So once you calculate TH naught, you can able to calculate what is because you know the amount of heat absorbed by the cold fluid, you know the values delta T. So you can able to calculate what is the amount of heat absorbed by the cold fluid. It is by equating MCCpC into delta T. So it is 14243.46 watt That is the value of Q. Once you calculate Q and U naught and TS naught, now the next thing is remaining. Q is equal to UA into LMTD. LMTD you have to calculate. So try this is for parallel flow as well as counter flow they asked. So find out for parallel flow length required for the parallel flow. Draw the temperature profile for the parallel flow and calculate delta TLM. Equate this equation, Th1 is known, Tc1 is known, Th2 is known, Tc2 is known. So substitute all the values and you can able to get the LMTD value. LMTD is equal to 32.228 degrees centigrade for parallel flow. After calculating that LMTD for parallel flow, we know Q is equal to UA into LMTD. We know the value of Q. We just calculated the value of U, and you calculated the LMTD, so you can able to calculate area. Area is equal to 1.360 meter square. Substituting all the values, you will get. Once you calculate area, we know that A is equal to pi into D naught into L, because surface area any because we substituted u naught. Please note that if you substitute here, we calculated u naught outside surface. If you calculate ui, then here you are substitute as di. Okay, that is the important thing you should remember, because we are calculating overall heat transfer coefficient on the outside surface of the inner tube. If it is inner surface of the inner tube, then we have to consider inside diameter. Okay, so A is equal to pi d naught into L. So d naught is known, pi is known, area is known, length you can able to calculate. Length is equal to 15.13 meter. That is for parallel flow. Similarly, for counter flow, we can able to calculate. Only thing is that delta T Lm is going to change. Draw the temperature profile for this, and then calculate delta T Lm. Equate all the values and calculate delta T Lm. You will get 39.10 degrees centigrade, so which is more than parallel flow. And once you calculate, after calculating delta T Lm LMTD for counter flow, you can able to substitute that in equation. Q is equal to UA into LMTD, and you can able to find area. Once you find area, you can able to calculate length by equating pi. A is equal to pi d naught into L. So L is equal to 12.47 meter. Now you can able to see the amount of heat transfer Q, 14,243 watt. That much amount of heat has to be transferred from hot fluid to cold fluid. Okay, if you consider parallel flow, the length will be 15.13 meter, and if you consider counter flow, 12.47 meter. So which is efficient efficient in case of space is concerned. Counter flow is very much efficient because it takes less space compared to parallel flow, isn't it? So this is the evidence. By this you can able to say counter flow heat exchanger is very much effective than parallel flow heat exchanger in case of heat transfer is concerned. I hope all of you understood this problem. If you have any doubt, please mail me, or you can comment on this video. Next we will take up next problem, problem number 3. It says that the flow rate of hot and cold flux streams running through a parallel flow heat exchanger are 0.2 kg per second and 0.5 kg per second respectively. The inlet temperatures on the hot and cold fluids are 75 degrees centigrade and 20 degrees centigrade respectively. The exit temperatures of hot water is 45 degrees centigrade. If the individual heat transfer coefficient on both the sides are 650 watt per meter square Kelvin, calculate the area of heat transfer. This question is asked in VTU January 2010 question paper. Okay, so they given the flow rate of hot and cold flux streams running through a parallel flow heat exchanger are 0.2 kg per second. Here directly the type of heat exchanger is parallel flow, and there are two fluids. One is hot fluid and cold fluid, and its mass flow rate is given. The inlet temperatures on hot and cold sides are the inlet temperature. Please note that the inlet temperatures of hot and cold fluids are 75 degrees centigrade and TC 20 degrees centigrade. That means inlet temperatures of hot fluid is 75 degrees centigrade. At the same time, inlet temperatures of cold fluid is 20 degree. THI is 75 and TCI is 20 degrees centigrade. Whereas exit temperature of hot water means fluid. So by this we can able to say hot fluid is water, 45 degrees centigrade, TH naught. If the individual heat transfer coefficient on both sides are 650 watt per meter square Kelvin, 650, both the side, hot side as well as cold side, both the sides, it is equal 650 watt per meter square. So from this we can able to say both fluids are same. That's why cold fluid is also water. So we can able to calculate area of the heat transfer. Okay, so we will write the given value. Hot fluid is water, cold fluid is also water. Okay, mass fluid is 0.2 kg per second for a hot fluid, and cold fluid is 0.5 kg per second. Okay, because it is hot is 0.2 and cold is 0.5, and THI is 75, TH naught is 45, TCI is 20, TC naught is unknown, HI is 650 and H naught is 650. These are the given data. Okay, now what we have to do is first we know that Q is equal to U. This is parallel flow, that's why draw the temperature profile for this. Then we know heat transfer Q is equal to UA into LMTD. So U, the value of U is unknown, Q is unknown, LMTD is unknown, area is unknown. So we have to calculate one by one. First we can calculate LMTD by calculating unknown heat transfer coefficient, because we know the specific heat Cp. This is water for both the case, so Cp is 4180. Mass flow rate is known and temperature, three temperatures are known, so we can calculate unknown temperature. From this unknown temperature, by knowing all the temperatures, we can calculate LMTD. That is one thing, and then we can calculate Q. And once HI and H naught is given, so we can calculate U. Okay, so this is the procedure. So we know from energy balance, hot fluid is equal the amount of heat given by the hot fluid is equal to amount of heat absorbed by the cold fluid. So mH Cph Thi minus Th naught is equal to mc Cpc Tc naught minus Tci. Substitute all the values. 0.2 into 4187. I considered Cp of water is 4187. Same Cp is considered for hot as well as cold fluid, because both the sides are the overall heat transfer coefficient is same, and this is given hot and cold flux streams. Hot fluid is water, so that's why cold fluid is also water. Okay, so you can able to calculate what is the amount of Tc naught, 32 degrees centigrade, from this. After calculating that Tc naught, we can able to calculate what is the amount of heat transfer Q. Q is equal to mc Cpc into delta T H. If you consider for hot fluid as a or cold fluid, now it is considered for hot fluid 0.2 into 4187, 75 minus 45, so you will get 25,122 watt. That much amount of Q, or 25.12 kilowatt. Okay, we calculated Q, we calculated Tc naught, so we can calculate the delta TLM for count of parallel flow heat exchanger. All the values are known, so delta TLM is 29.12 degrees centigrade. Now we can calculate U is equal to overall heat transfer coefficient, which is they given inside heat transfer coefficient as well as outside heat transfer coefficient is same, it is 650. So we know the equation 1 by u naught is equal to 1 by h naught plus rf naught plus r naught by k into ln r naught by ri plus r naught plus ri into rfi plus r naught by ra into 1 by hi. This is a standard relation to find overall heat transfer based on outside surface or inside surface. The both relation is given, so we will consider for outside. Now here fouling factors are not given, so it is neglected, and also the thermal resistance is not given, conductivity, so it is also neglected. So remaining is only 1 by hi and 1 by h naught, 1 by h naught into 1 by hi. So equating that, 1 by u naught is equal to 1 by h naught plus 1 by hi. So we will get 325 watt per meter square Kelvin. I hope you understood this. Why I neglected this? Because they not given, so we will neglect that. Okay. The overall heat transfer coefficient is based on only inside and outside heat transfer coefficients. Okay. So next, by knowing this value, we can able to calculate what is the area. Q is equal to U into A LMTD. So substitute all the values and area is equal to 2.65 meters square. This is the answer for this question. I hope you understood this. Very simple problem, but you should able to, the procedure is same, but you should know based on the data given, we are going to calculate. Okay. Next, we will take up next problem. This is next type of problem. It is saturated steam. Please note that this is saturated steam at 120 degrees centigrade is condensing on the outer surface of a single pass heat exchanger. The overall heat transfer coefficient is 1600 watt per meter square Kelvin. Determine the surface area of the heat exchanger required to heat 2000 kg per hour of water from 20 degrees centigrade to 90 degrees centigrade, and also determine the rate of condensation of steam in kg per hour. So assume latent heat of steam to be 2195 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. This is also they given BTU January and February 2010 question paper. Okay, so please go through this question. They given a saturated steam at 120 degrees centigrade is condensing. That means what? In condenser it is taking place. Okay, the heat this is heat exchanger means condenser. Okay, so saturated steam at 120 degrees centigrade THI condensing on the outer surface of a single pass heat exchanger. So it is a condenser. So for condenser, we know that at constant inlet hot free temperature, from inlet to outlet, it is giving its latent heat. Okay, so THI is equal to TH naught is equal to 120 degrees centigrade. This is very, very important. You should remember this. The overall heat transfer coefficient is 1600 watt per meter square Kelvin. So U is equal to 1600. Directly that value is given. Determine the surface area A required to heat, that is cold fluid is 2000 kg per hour. So convert that into kg per second of water from 20 degrees centigrade to 90 degrees centigrade. Okay, inlet temperature is 20 and outlet temperature is 90 degrees. So also determine the rate of condensation, that is mass flow, rate of condensation is m dot in kg per hour, that you have to calculate. Okay, so they given latent heat of steam is 2195 kg per kilojoule per kg. I hope you understood this question. So we will try to note down all the given values, and then later we will try to solve it. So they given as type of heat exchanger is condenser, hot fluid is steam, and cold fluid is water. Mass flow rate of cold fluid is 2000 kg per hour. So it is kg per second 0.556. THI is equal to TH naught is equal to 120 degrees centigrade. TCI is 20 degrees centigrade and TC naught is 90 degrees centigrade. Overall heat transfer coefficient U is 1600 watt per meter square Kelvin, and HFG latent heat of steam 2195 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. These are the given data, and we know temperature profile for condenser. This is the temperature profile. So THI is equal to TH naught from inlet to outlet. So and it's giving hot fluid is giving its latent heat to the cold fluid. This problem can be solved by considering either parallel flow or counter flow. But for calculating LMTD, so LMTD is TH1 minus TC1 minus TH2 minus TC2 divided by lane of TH1 minus TC1 divided by TH2 minus TC2. Equate all the values here and calculate delta TLM. All the values are known. TH1, THI is equal to TH naught is equal to 120, THCI is 20, TC naught is 90. So substituting all the values, you can calculate delta T LMTD. Okay, and then you can able to calculate Q. Q is equal to mH CPH into THI minus TH naught, but because cold fluid mass fluid is given. So and the temperature difference between cold fluid is given. THI minus THC naught minus TCI 70 degrees centigrade, and you know it is water, so Cp is known, so you can able to calculate Q is equal to 162.95 kilowatt, and you know what is U, so you can able to calculate area. Q is equal, therefore Q is equal to UA into LMTD. Substitute all the values. Q is calculated 162 into 10 to the power 5 is 10 to the power 3 watt, which is equal to U is given 1600 and E is unknown and delta T is calculated, and you will get area is equal to 1.751 meter square. Now they asked to calculate mass of condensate m dot. That we can calculate by knowing the relation Q is equal to the rate of heat given by the hot fluid is equal to Q is equal to mass of condensate into latent heat. Q is equal to m dot into HFG. Now we know the amount of heat gained by the cold fluid, that by energy balance, that is equal to mass of heat lost by the hot fluid, isn't it? So this Q 162.95 is equal to QH. So QH is equal to m dot into HFG. HFG is known, so calculate mass per rate of steam condensed is equal to Q is equal to m dot into HFG. Therefore m dot is equal to Q by HFG, and that you can able to calculate equating all the values. You can calculate 0.0742 kg per second, and later you can convert that into kg per hour. So this is the solution. I hope all of you understood this very simple problem, and only one thing is you should remember for condenser, in condenser latent heat of steam or hot fluid is given to the cold fluid, and in evaporator its latent heat is increased. Okay, so cold fluid for evaporator TCI is equal to TC naught, but in condenser THI is equal to TH naught. Okay, that is the difference between evaporator and condenser. We will see a next problem, that is about a cross flow heat exchanger in which both fluids are unmixed is used to heat water with an engine oil. So water enters at 30 degrees centigrade and leaves at 85 degrees centigrade at a rate of 1.5 kg per second, while the engine oil with the Cp is equal to 2.3 kilojoule per kg Kelvin enter at 120 degrees centigrade with a mass flow rate of 3.5 kg per second. The heat transfer surface area is 30 meters square. So calculate the overall heat transfer coefficient by using LMTD method. They specifically mention it is LMTD method. This question is also asked in video question paper. So here the type of heat exchanger is cross flow heat exchanger in which both fluids are unmixed. there are while explaining cross flow heat exchanger, I clearly mentioned that there are two types of cross flow heat exchanger. One is both fluid mixed, and second one is both fluids are unmixed. Cross flow means the two fluids are flowing in right angles to each other. Okay, so here both fluids are unmixed, which is used to heat water with an engine oil. So water enters 30 degrees centigrade and leaves at 85 degrees centigrade. So inlet temperatures of water is given at a rate of 1.5 kg. Mass flow rate is also given. But engine oil is the engine oil with the CP 2.3 kilojoule per kg Kelvin enter 120 degrees centigrade, that is THI, with a mass flow rate 3.5 mass flow rate mH is given. So heat transfer area is given A. So you have to calculate overall heat transfer coefficient U. Okay. So in order to solve this, just now first you have to note down all the given data. Type of engine, type of heat exchanger is cross flow, both fluid unmixed. Hot fluid is engine oil, cold fluid is water, and mass flow rate of hot fluid is given. Inlet temperature of hot fluid is given. Outlet temperature of hot fluid is also fluid what is 30 degrees centigrade to 45 degrees centigrade, and inlet and outlet temperature of cold fluid is given, and CP is given. Okay, and they asked to calculate the LMTD method. Okay, so first what we have to do, the cross flow heat exchanger is considered as count flow heat exchanger, that you should remember. Count flow heat exchanger. So we know for the hot fluid heat exchanger in a data handbook, you can get the relation Q is equal to F into U into A into LMTD star. LMTD star means count flow heat exchanger LMTD. F is nothing but correction factor, that you can able to find what is the correction factor by table or by graphical graph. Okay, and U is they asked to find, and area is given. So where F is the correction factor, which can be found by graph given in data handbook. From the energy balance, we know that amount of heat given by the hot fluid is equal to amount of heat absorbed by the cold fluid. So mHCpH into THI minus TH0 is equal to mCCpC into TC0 minus TCI. Here mass flow rate of hot and cold fluid is known, and inlet temperature of hot fluid is known. Outlet temperature as well as inlet temperature of cold fluid is also known. So we can able to find unknown temperatures by equating this. TH0 is equal to 77.08 degrees centigrade. That is the value for unknown temperatures. Now after finding this, we can able to calculate LMTD for count flow, equate all the values, and try to get the values for LMTD 40.74 degrees centigrade. Now we have to calculate the correction factor F. In order to calculate correction factor, refer page number 162 for cross flow and both fluid is unmixed. Specifically, you should know this: cross flow and both fluid is unmixed. So this is the graph you are going to get. So here in x-axis it is given P, and y-axis the given correction factor, and that curves are the value of R. Now how to calculate P and R? In order to calculate the value of P and R, P is equal to small letter T2 minus T1, that is outlet temperatures of cold fluid minus inlet temperature of cold fluid divided by inlet temperature of hot fluid minus inlet temperature of cold fluid. Okay, so all the values known, so you can able to get 0.61. Similarly, R is equal to capital letter T1 minus capital letter T2 divided by small letter T2 minus small letter T1. And so all the values known, so you will get 0.78. So for 0.6 along P, which is along x-axis, so you can able to get a 0.6 somewhere here. Okay, and then R, the curve, which is these are the curves, which is R 0.78. So you can able to see this is R is equal to 4, 3, 2, 1.5, 1.8 now, and 0.6, 0.4, 0.2. So our condition is it is 0.78. So you can locate somewhere around 0.8, closer to that 0.8, and then 0.6 it will meet somewhere here, and corresponding where it intersect 0.8 as well as 0.6, somewhere here it will intersect corresponding value. You can able to note down the in y-axis by drawing horizontal line towards y-axis. So f is equal to, you will get 0.9. F is equal to 0.9. The corresponding value is 0.9 somewhere here. So it locates 0.6 and 0.8 somewhere here, and corresponding value is 0.9, like this. You have to mark. Okay, once you find f, and once you know delta TLM, and then you already they given area, so you can able to calculate Q is equal to U into A into delta TLM. Q is also you can calculate. Okay, Q is equal to MC CPC into TC naught minus TCI. Equating all the values, you can able to find unknown value of U. Then Q is equal to MCCPC into TC naught minus TCI, which is equal to 1.5 into 4187 into 85 minus 30. So you will get 345.42 kilowatt. Equating that, Q is equal to F into UA into LMTT, which is equal to 3.45 into 345.42 into 10 to the power 3, and F is equal to 0.9, U is unknown, area is 30, and delta T is 40.74. So you can able to get U is equal to 314.02 watt per meter square. 314.02 watt per meter square Kelvin. This is the procedure how to solve for cross flow heat exchanger. Okay, both fluids are unmixed. Similarly, they can able to give a multi-pass heat exchanger, two shell, 2 pass, 4 pass heat exchanger, or one shell, two pass, 4 pass, 6 pass. That means multi-pass heat exchanger. Same method you have to follow. Okay. And next we will see one more type of problem. Say here, a 2 shell pass 4 tube pass heat exchanger with flow arrangement has water on shell and brine on tube side is given. Water is cooled from 18 degrees centigrade to 6 degrees centigrade, with the brine entering at -1 degree centigrade and leaving at 3 degrees centigrade. The overall heat transfer coefficient is 600 watt per meter square Kelvin. Calculate the heat transfer area for design heat load of 24,000 watt. So please go through this question clearly. A 2 shell pass 4 tube pass heat exchanger. The type of heat exchanger is a 2 shell pass multi-pass heat exchanger, multi-pass heat exchanger. Okay, and with the flow arrangement has on water on shell and brine on tube side. Water is cooled from 18 degrees centigrade to 6 degree. Both the inlet and outlet temperatures given. Brine entering -1 degree centigrade and leaving at 3 degrees centigrade. Inlet and outer temperatures of brine is also given. Overall heat transfer coefficient U is given. You have to calculate the heat transfer area for design heat load of 24,000 watt. So given is type of heat exchanger, 2 shell pass 4 tube pass heat exchanger. Hot fluid is water, cold fluid is brine. THI and TS0 is given. TCI and TC2 is given. U is given, Q is given. Now what we have to do, Q is equal to F into U into A into LMTD star. This is called flow LMTD. So F is correction factor. So for F you have to calculate P, delta T LM star, that you can calculate for outflow. It is 10.5 degrees centigrade you are going to get. And correction factor you have to calculate for 2 shell pass 4 tube pass heat exchanger. Go to data handbook and refer the data handbook and calculate what is P and what is R and corresponding F value. Note down. Okay, once you note down this P, R and F, you can calculate what is Q, MCP delta T, Q is no given, sorry, Q is given, and you can able to calculate directly. Overall heat transfer is also given, you can calculate what is area. They asked to calculate area only. Very simple problem, but you should know how to solve this. We will solve next type of problem. In this problem, they given the velocity of water flowing through a tube of 2.2 centimeter diameter is 2 meter per second. Steam is condensing at 150 degrees centigrade on the outside surface of the tube, which heats the water from 15 degrees centigrade to 60 degrees centigrade over the length of the tube. Find the heat transfer coefficient and the length of the tube, neglecting the tube and steam side film resistance. This question they asked in VTU June 2012 question paper. So this is one more kind of problem where the type of heat exchanger is condenser, and but here instead of a mass flow rate, they given the velocity of the water. Okay, so the velocity of water flowing through a tube of 2.2 centimeter, so the diameter of tube is given, and velocity is 2 meters per second, and steam is condensing at 150 degrees centigrade. So at 150 degrees centigrade, they given the value of temperature. So Thi is equal to Th naught because it is condenser, so its latent heat is given. So, and inside water is flowing at 2 meter per second, and its inlet and outlet temperature is 15 and 60 degrees centigrade given. So you have, they asked to calculate heat transfer coefficient U and the length L, neglecting the tube resistance, okay, tube and film side resistance. So we will note down the given value. Thi is equal to Th naught is equal to 150 degrees centigrade and diameter is 2.2 centimeter. Tci is 15 and Tc naught 60 and velocity is 2 meter per second. They asked to calculate length. So to calculate heat transfer coefficient, we know that they given velocity and cold fluid resistance. So when velocity is given, we have to find this relation with respect to forced convection. So try to find out the film temperature Ts plus T infinity by 2. So Ts is 15 degrees. This it is not Tci plus T naught. So 60 plus 20 by 2 inlet to outlet temperature. So the film temperature is 37, bulk fluid temperature is 37.5 degrees centigrade you will get. For 37.5 degrees centigrade bulk fluid, you have to note down the property values of water from data input. So here you will get mu K, specific heat and density. Then from this you can able to calculate Reynolds number. Reynolds number is equal to rho ud. U is stands for velocity, rho vd by mu, which is equal to 62,228 you will get. So which is greater than 2,300. So we know that the flow through tube when critical Reynolds number is 2,300. The value of Reynolds number is more than critical Reynolds number, then the flow is turbulent. And for turbulent flow, the internal flow, considering fully developed flow, we can able to find Nusselt number using Dittus-Boyler equation. And then Prandtl number is not given, so Prandtl number is equal to, by knowing mu value and Cp value, then we can able to calculate mu Cp into K. It is 5.426, or else you can directly note down from the data input. The Dittus-Boyler equation for Nusselt number is Nu is equal to 0.023 Rad to the power 0.8 into Prandtl number to the power 0.33. So substituting Reynolds number and Prandtl number, and we can calculate Nusselt number is equal to 274.97. From this we can calculate H. Nu is equal to Ht by K. So H is 6,771.7 watt per meter square Kelvin, which is nothing but U, because they given in this question, find the heat transfer coefficient and the length of the tube, neglecting the tube and steam side film resistance. All resistance are neglected, only H is considered, so that is all, that is equal to U. After calculating that H value, we can calculate LMTD is equal to, this is for count flow, because you can calculate for count flow or parallel flow. Sorry, this is for condenser, isn't it? So they given TH1 minus TC2 divided by TH2 minus TC1 divided by lane, sorry, delta TLM is equal to TH1 minus TC2 minus TH2 minus TC1 whole divided by lane of TH1 minus TC2 divided by TH2 minus TC1. Substitute all the values, you will get lane is equal, delta TLM is equal to 110, and then you can able to calculate Q also, MCCPC into TC0 minus TCI. So here mass flow rate is unknown, so mass flow rate you can calculate once you know the velocity. It is rho into A into V. Okay, so substituting all the values, we will get Q is equal to 142.25 kilowatt, and U is known, so Q is equal to UA into LMTD. From this we can calculate it area. Okay, substituting Q value, U value and LMTD value, you can find area. Once you know the value of area, you can able to find L, length, you will get as 2.73 meter. Okay, this is about that problem. Different type of problem where they won't give any value pertaining to overall heat transfer coefficient U. So you have to find the U by knowing it is by calculating Reynolds number and Nusselt number. Okay, next we will go to next problem, that is a counterflow heat exchanger of heat transfer area 12.5 meter square is to cool oil which is of Cp 2000 joule per kg degree centigrade with what? Okay, the oil enters at 100 degree centigrade and mass flow rate is 2 kg per second, while the water enters at 20 degree centigrade and mass flow rate is 0.48 kg per second. The overall heat transfer coefficient is 400 watt per meter square Kelvin. So you have to calculate the exit of the water and the total heat transfer. So please note that this is a counterflow heat exchanger of heat transfer area 12.5 meter square is to cool oil which is of Cp 2000 joule per kg degree centigrade with water. Okay, so they given heat transfer area and they given the oil and water as two fluids, and its specific heat is of oil is given. The oil enters at 100 degree centigrade and mass flow rate is also given, and water enters at 20 degree centigrade and its mass flow rate is given, and its overall heat transfer coefficient is 400. So here only two temperature is given, so we can't go for LMTD method, we have to go for effectiveness NTU method. Okay, we can go for use LMTD method when only there are three temperatures known, three temperatures of both fluids are known, and one more temperature we can find. Here only two temperatures is known, so we can't go for LMTD method, we have to go for NTU methods. So here we can note down the type of heat exchanger as counterflow, and hot fluid is oil and cold fluid is water. A mass flow rate of hot fluid is given 2 kg per second, and similarly the mass flow rate of cold fluid is also given 0.48, and inlet temperature of hot fluid is 100 degree centigrade they given, and outlet temperature of cold fluid is hot fluid is not given, and cold fluid is 20 degree centigrade they given. So only two temperature is given. The specific heat of hot fluid is given 2000, and the specific heat of cold fluid is also 4170 they given, and area is 12.5 meter square, and overall heat transfer coefficient 400 watt per meter square Kelvin is given. So here only two temperatures is given, and other two temperatures not given. Okay, in this case we can't go for LMTD method, so we have to go for effectiveness NTU method. For this we have to calculate what is the hot plate capacity rate, heat capacity rate of hot plate, CH. It is equal to mHCpH. Okay, CH is equal to mHCpH is equal to 2 into 2000, which is equal to 4000 watt per degree centigrade. And similarly, hot fluid capacity of a cold fluid is given. We have to calculate Cc 0.48 into 4170, which is equal to 2002 watt per degree centigrade. From this, we can decide which is the maximum heat capacity rate and which is minimum heat capacity rate, Cmin and Cmax. Therefore, here Cmax is the CH and C minimum is Cc. Okay, depending upon the value. Once you calculate Cmax and Cmin, you can calculate capacity ratio Cmin by Cmax. Cmin by Cmax. Okay, so it is 0.5 you are going to get. And also you can calculate, you know the value of U and you know the value of A and the C minimum value. So you can calculate NTU, number of transfer units, NTU. It is available in data and book. All values are available, relations are available in data and book. So number of transfer units, NTU is equal to UA by C minimum. So it is 400 into 12.5 divided by 2002. C minimum is 2002. So 2.5 you can able to get. So now you have the value C and you have the value of NTU. So that you can calculate what is the effectiveness. Therefore, effectiveness is equal to for counter flow heat exchanger in page number 153 it is given counter flow heat exchanger of effectiveness is equal to 1 minus exponential to the power minus NTU into 1 minus C divided by 1 minus C into exponential to the power minus NTU into 1 minus C. This is the analytical method for to find effectiveness. So all the values are known, NTU is known, C is known. So you can able to calculate the effectiveness by substituting all the values, and effectiveness is 0.83. This value of effectiveness can also be found by using a graphical method. It is given in data and book page number 164 for effectiveness of counter flow heat exchanger. For effectiveness NTU and capacity ratio 0.5, it is given this chart or graph where x-axis is the number of transfer units and y-axis is effectiveness, and the curve it is given as Cmin by Cmax, which is nothing but C. Now for NTU 2.5 you have to locate in x-axis, and capacity ratio C is 0.5, that curve where it intersect and corresponding y-axis you have to measure that effectiveness, you will get 0.82. Okay, by graphical method also you can able to rate effectiveness. Okay, after finding effectiveness we can find the exit temperature of cold fluid by using data and book. It is given this equation when hot fluid is maximum. This is the equation, effectiveness is MC into CPC into TC naught minus TCI divided by C minimum into THI minus TCI. All the values MC, CPC is known, C minimum is known, TCI is known, THI is known, only unknown is TC naught, and effectiveness is also known. So you can able to find a TC naught as 85.6 degrees centigrade. Okay. After calculating this TC naught, we can calculate total heat transfer Q is equal to MC CPC into TC naught minus TCI and equate all the values and get the answer as 131.3 kilowatt. This is the total heat transfer to the cold fluid. Okay, I hope you understood this. This is NTU effectiveness and NTU method. Next we will solve next type of problem. So it is problem number 8. 2 shell pass, 4 tube pass, 2 shell pass, 4 tube pass heat exchanger of flow arrangement is used to cool 1.5 kg per second of oil. Cp is 2100 joule per kg degree centigrade from 90 degree centigrade to 40 degree centigrade with water Cp 4180 entering at 19 degree centigrade, and mass flow rate of that water is 1 kg per second. The overall heat transfer coefficient is 250 watt per watt per meter square Kelvin. Calculate the heat transfer rate area using NTU method. They specifically mentioned over here NTU method. So we will note down the given values. Important thing is type of heat exchanger. It is two shell pass, 4 tube pass heat exchanger, and hot fluid is oil and cold fluid is water. The mass flow rate of hot fluid is given 1.5 and the cold fluid is also 1 kg per second, and THI and TH0 is given here, and 90 and 40, and the cold fluid inlet temperature is 19 degrees centigrade. Cp of hot fluid and cold fluid is given, and U is 250 watt per meter square Kelvin. A is equal to how much we have to calculate. And please note that this is two shell pass, 4 tube pass heat exchanger. So first we have to find which is C minimum and which is C max. Hot fluid capacity rate CH, that we can calculate. Then cold fluid capacity at CC, that is also we can calculate. By this we can able to calculate C minimum and C max. C minimum and C max. Okay. So here CC is a maximum and CH is minimum. Then capacity ratio C is also can be calculated. C is equal to C min by C max, which is equal to 3150 divided by 4180. 0.75 you will get. Okay. Once you get C minimum, next after calculating capacity ratio, you can calculate its effectiveness. Therefore, effectiveness by page number 153 for CH is equal to C minimum. The relation is given. Effectiveness is equal to MCCPC TC0 minus TCI divided by C minimum into THI minus TCI. All the temperature values are known, so you can able to calculate what is effectiveness. You will get effectiveness as 0.70. Once you know the effectiveness value and see capacity ratio, we can able to calculate the NTU for count flow for two shell 4 tube heat exchanger, and by graphical it is given in data and so by this we can able to in effectiveness is given in y-axis, and curve is given capacity ratio, and we can locate the value, and corresponding x-axis value NTU we can note out NTU is equal to 2. Once you after finding NTU value, number of transfer units NTU is equal to UA by C minimum. So NTU value is 2 and U is 400, area is unknown, and C minimum is 2002. So we can calculate area as 25.2 meters square. This is a procedure you have to adopt in order to calculate area for area by using effectiveness and NTU method. Okay, I hope it is clear.